Hello, everybody, and welcome to the weekly dose of Aquaholics Anonymous. Blah. I'm not going to be able to talk tonight. That's wonderful. Thank you, Chattanooga Ed, for being here, and special guest Lefty3213A. We are going to talk Project Anabantoid and the winners of that contest. Get my chat pulled back up real quick. We have a new member. I'm pretty sure it's One Dirty Platty. Yes, One Dirty Platty. Welcome to Team Bristle Nose. I appreciate you coming a member, my friend. That is awesome. Always great to see you, and thanks for joining the team. Be sure when you get a chance to check out the behind-the-scenes stuff. Going to have another members-only video coming out tomorrow, and I'll have some regular videos coming out too. I kind of took a break this past 4 or 5 days, so forgive me for that, but we are back on track with it. So thank you for that. You see real quick here, 68 people watching now. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. I'm going to guess John is probably wrapping it up because that number is jumping up. So thank you all for being here. I won't go through all 70 names because then you'd just be listening to me name people the whole rest of it. But I will try and say hello to everybody as I can. Grumpy Mike's Fish, thank you for the $1 Super Pooper sticker. I appreciate you, buddy. Always good to see you. And again, thank you all for being here, especially moderators. Let me say a thank you to you all before I get any further. You all are awesome. So thank you for being here. Lefty3213A has made an amazing presentation for us tonight to go through the Project Anabantoid. Do either one of you want to give just kind of a quick overview of what that was? I'm sure we've got some people in here that didn't know about it, and the only reason I mentioned it is because we'll be doing more projects like this in the future, so maybe they'll get interested in an upcoming one.
Would you like me to do that, Lefty, or would you
go
like
ahead, Ed? I think you got it down back.
Oh, it's for some reason the computer hates Catfish Terry, and every time it does something, it says, "Are you sure you want to let Catfish Terry talk?" And it's always a race to say yes. Oh, there's no.
Somebody got it.
Oh man. Okay. Well, nevertheless, Project Anabantoid was a really fun month. What we did was we had people send in photos, videos, and artwork to a certain email that went to Lefty, and then he compiled it all. He did such a wonderful job, and we had several judges. We had James, of course, Lefty, Peter from Fish Room Guru, Guppy Guru. Did Rack join us this time?
He did. Okay,
Rack from River Life. And our special, and the Zen Ginger. We can't forget the Zen Ginger. She's awesome. And we had a special guest judge this year was Lisa from KG. So did I say this year or this month? But what we were doing is we were just taking fish from the bettas, the Grommies, and the Paradise Fish. And did you want more than that?
No,
that's good.
That's great. Pretty much every other month we've been doing something like this. A few months ago we did Project Posilia for a select group of live bearers, and probably here in another month or so we'll do another one. We haven't determined as a group exactly what that one's going to be yet, but I think that we're working on making it kind of an every other month event, and then circling back to it as an annual event on that month every year. So it's the beginning of a pretty cool thing, I think, that has been fun for the community from what I've seen, and I've certainly enjoyed it. So thank you all for your participation.
Now, are we doing it every other month, or is it like every?
It's like every 3, maybe.
It might be every 3. It seems like it's every.
We're taking a month break.
Yeah, that's what it was. It just seems like we're always working on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of work involved, and then we don't want to run our sponsors dry either.
Right. And let me just be forthcoming. I'm not the one doing a lot of work. People like Lefty3213A are doing a lot of work, and some others as well. I'm just fortunate enough to be involved in it. So thank you.
You are the gasoline, so.
Yes, I am. I'm the gasoline. I see a fire and I just dive on it and make it explode. So would you like me to pull up the slideshow presentation and we can get started?
We can get right into it.
Real quick, let me say thank you to Bob Kaler at Kaler's Aquatics for I think it was the Super Pooper chat. Probably a poop emoji. It was Kaler's Aquatics. Thank you for that, Bob. Always good to see you. I hope to get to see you soon. I haven't actually met up with you lately, and it's been kind of weird not seeing any of you guys in person for a while. Without further ado, though, let me add this to the stream. Again, this was made by Lefty3213A, so thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. So we will roll through here.
So can you identify these fish for us that we're looking at?
Which one of us you talking to?
Yeah, probably you, Lefty, since you're the one who posted them.
Oh, well, I can give you the ones on the cover. We have two bettas, a gourami, and a paradise fish. Those are easy enough.
Well, those look very nice.
So here were our... Now, is this all of the picture entries?
This is all the picture entries, yes.
All the picture entries. I'm going to move my chat over here so that I can still have it
So
while
am I.
we're doing this. There
Sorry,
we go.
folks, I can't see what you're saying. Well, now I just made a giant chat and nothing else.
Gotta love when that happens.
I've got a cat hair also, like it's floating above my left eye, and it's driving me crazy.
The three of us have some fun when we get together. I'll put it that way. This is going to be an interesting hour.
Oh, I keep doing it
And
every time I move it.
I do say I will get back to the super stickers and super chats. I appreciate y'all very much for those. But as you can see, we had a lot of amazing entries, a lot of beautiful fish. And we fortunately had some things besides bettas. So that was awesome as well. I don't know how much you wanted to discuss each of the entries, but I'll let y'all have a minute to check those out because we had some really pretty stuff.
We did. We had, I think, 2.5 times more entries this time around overall, so that was nice.
And that is awesome. Now, did we still have people after the fact trying to get in?
Not so much this time. So there was a couple people I saw that were like, "Oh, I was trying to get something and I couldn't get it," and I'm like, "Well, you can get ready for the next one."
Now, I really liked the baby macro lens one. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know. Are we allowed to say what we like?
Sure.
I thought it was also really cool on the... I was going to point to it, but you guys really can't see where my finger's going. Can you make a little mouse hand thing on your screen, James?
Let's see. Can we?
You can put your cursor over it. It should come up, right?
That's what I mean.
It is not. I'm
Well,
over the white betta.
I like how the jawline on these wild bettas are. They're at the bottom photo, like that's next to the gourami, and then there's two wild guys down there by Lefty. And the jawline on those things are awesome. I mean, like I was telling James, they almost look like piranha jaws. Very cool.
You can actually get yourself a pointer, James. If you scroll on the thing again, there's like a squiggly line at the bottom left.
Line bottom left.
See where it's next to slide 2, 3 things over, it says pointer?
Yes.
You should have a red point. There you go.
Hey, look at that. Sorry, I was trying to answer a question in the chat while Ed was going over that. My apologies. Now I just have to move my chat off of the top of the pictures. Now I have a pointer. All right.
I mean, it was so much fun going over all of the different fish. I mean, they all... You know, we love fish, so it's like going to a fish store but not having to leave the house.
It really is.
And it was really neat to see some of the really fancy stuff. That gourami was a 3D picture. That golden gourami down there. Whichever way you looked at it, it was like 3D. That was really neat. Neat effect.
And I will say the scores were very close.
They were very, very close.
Some were like literally 0.3 separating them.
So are we ready for this?
Yeah, we can do our best picture
winner. What it is.
Ed, you going to do your drum roll here?
Bum, 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 bum. It was actually a trumpet.
Oh, I forgot there was a congratulations too. There we go. Manes, tails, fur, and fins. Congratulations.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations. Words are really hard today.
Now, was that one on the one with all the little pictures?
It was.
It was.
Okay. Was it like in the lower bottom middle?
It was middle, pretty centered.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I remember the white one over at the very bottom, but yeah, okay, I see it. Sorry, guys. I'm just using my detective
You were
skills.
good, buddy. Let me get scrolled back over here. Go through
Well,
this.
congratulations.
Yes.
Yes.
Very nice picture.
Now look at these. I thought we had some awesome art entries this go around.
I was so happy this time.
Not that we weren't happy last time, but it was nice to have multiple options. You know, it's nice that there was more participation.
Yeah, some awesome stuff there.
Definitely. We had some really realistic looking stuff, some leather work, interpretive, I guess. What is that? Impression?
I believe
I'm not
abstract.
an art guru. Abstract, there we go. I'm not the art person.
Or really big close-up.
Yeah. So
that could be like 2 scales next to each other.
I will give everybody a moment to look at those and see if I can get my chat in a place where I can have it to view while I'm doing this, because I hate covering stuff up. But yeah, I thought it was really, really cool. I certainly hope we get even more people to participate in the next event. Again, we haven't decided what the focus is going to be on, but it has been a real blast. And thank you to everybody, not just for the art entries, but also the photo entries, as well as the video entries that we're going to get to here in just a moment, because it was really, really cool to see the stuff that you all took the time to create and submit.
Of course, the contest is over. You guys can still feel free to post on the Facebook page as much as you want with more pictures or questions. We had one person join who's the first-time beta owner, so they were asking people questions. It was kind of nice to see.
Yes.
Oh, it's super cool.
And those, I see Diego. Yes, Diego. I'm a fish room guru. I will never call myself a guru. I'm trying to get back up here and thank these other super chats real quick before we go to the next winner.
He's a fish room disease.
Yeah, that's what I am.
Are fevers diseases?
Yeah, well, that all spawned from the whole multi-tank syndrome thing. I'm like, well, syndrome, you know, that can be indicative of different medical things. So
yeah, it's a great name. Pretty cool.
Oh, I'm
a lot better
lost
than
in there
Lefty.
somewhere. There we go. It was Shy Guy Mrs. Fever. Thank you for the $1 super pooper sticker. And then we've got Bob Steampot Aquatics with the $1 scary face emoji.
You know, when Shy does it, you should run her down and shoot it like right at her head.
I don't think she would like that too much.
He might not make it out alive, Ed.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't get back.
Harry Potter kiss.
But yeah, so that is another part of this whole thing was, you know, the initiation was community. So we want to remind people that both the Project Posilia page and the Project Anabantoid page on Facebook are both still open, and encourage people to continue to get on there and talk and communicate. We have a lot of great resources as fish keepers, but I think it's also nice to have those narrowed down areas where you can go, okay, I've got something that pertains specifically to bettas. Here's a nice smaller group of people that I can get with. And we know Facebook can be a nasty place. So we're trying to give another kind of safe area, if you will, that you can come to and, you know, not get chewed out because you got your first betta and it's still sitting in the cup at home, and we can try and, you know, educate people on these fish. Besides just sharing how much we love these fish.
There's Zen.
Hello, Zen. I'm going to grab this last
a
super chat real quick. I almost said super sticker. Thank you. Aquarium is maintained by Andy for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you being here. I think I actually got the camera with that one. And he says, great art. Yes, absolutely beautiful art. I'm trying not to say too much because I don't want to give away my favorite and who I voted for. But let me hit this button back over here. Click on this page. Best art winner. Congratulations to Psychedelic Hippocampus. I absolutely love the leather work. Very, very awesome piece. The time that went into all the work, I'm sure, was quite a bit, but I really, really like that leather work. And their Miss Fever said I'd be in big trouble if I did that, Ed, so I better not.
But it's for ratings.
Oh, and when I clicked over, it scrolled out of that. Oh, were the videos actually going to load? We'll just let them sit for a minute and see if they load.
I guess it didn't update on your end.
No, this is going to murder my computer here trying to load all 20 of these videos. We're going to give it a go. We'll let it sit for a minute.
So I didn't know James only has a laptop when I set this up.
Oh, let's see if it loads up. I'm sure it will. We're going to give it a moment, though. It's gonna crash everything. My laptop's going to catch on fire. The Ethernet wire is going to explode. It's burst into flames running through the house.
Shoot a pop at it and see what happens.
See if we can get the pressure out. And I'm pretty sure my chat has now frozen too.
Mine hasn't, so you're doing fine.
All right. Yeah, see, it's just going to be on my end. So if I start lagging out, y'all will still be here.
You sound good to me.
But we did have a lot of really, really awesome video entries. And I had a lot of fun going through and watching the various videos. It was neat to kind of see everybody's style of video making, because we had some people that aren't YouTubers per se. So it was really cool to see some videos from people that don't videos all the time.
Let's say whoever's loads first is the winner.
It's probably past her posting it.
Yeah, you might just want to go past it.
Yeah,
there's one over halfway. It's like the lead horse. Ooh, but there's one on the bottom that might be catching up.
We can come back to it. I think there's a way.
Yeah.
Did those have like little stickers next to their names to figure out who they were?
They did not.
I thought I saw a Priscilla symbol and a Jesse symbol.
I think you saw the People's Channel thumbnail thingies, like their icons.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh my!
So they were just people that
take a minute. My chat is still congratulating Psychedelic Hippocampus. Again, congratulations from me. I should not have tried to let that load.
We need to get James a new computer.
Working on it. Working on it. All right. Gonna do your drum roll. Blake's Aquatics.
Blake.
So now is this video going to? It is going to load.
It's only one video, so hopefully this one. I did 30 seconds of it, so it's not the whole video.
Say I didn't want to show the whole thing because I want people to go check it out on Blake's channel, because it was a longer video and it was really, really awesome. But I want people to see the entry. And congratulations, Blake. I think you deserved it, my friend. Very, very cool. Again, we had a lot of awesome entries, and I want to thank all of you all for participating.
And Blake sounds really cool because he's Australian.
Yeah,
this is true.
Was he talking in this video?
I don't think so.
I know it had music to it, but I don't think he was talking in it.
All my audio didn't work when I was watching them, so I don't know if they were talking or music or what.
So real quick, I do want to take this opportunity to say, I don't know how many people we've got, but Chattanooga Ed, Lefty3213A, Main's Tails, Fur and Fins. I don't know, does Psychedelic Hippocampus have a channel? I don't remember. I know Blake's Aquatics has a channel. Thank you for dropping the links there, Candy and Zen. I appreciate that. T-Bone, if you want to email a picture of your tank to me, we are going to put together an episode, I guess, or one of the streams where we look at some members' tanks again. But you can send that to fishroomfever@gmail.com, and we've not decided exactly when we're going to do that, but we'll compile a list of a collage of photos and or videos, I guess, to go through and check out. Yes, so I thought Psychedelic Hippocampus did. So if we can get links for that, and again, Moz, I'm sorry for asking. I try not to ask you all for things, but thank you. Because they all have channels, so I think it would be great to check them all out. Let me get through here. All right. Get back on that one. Sorry, I'm working with multiple windows on multiple monitors. We had a Best in Show winner. Lefty, do you want to explain how this one worked?
So basically, for Best in Show, each judge picks their favorite from the picture, video, and art. And then the other, this time I did it a little differently than last time. I took the scores the judges gave it on the category, and the person that picked it got an automatic 10 score. So whoever's one had the overall highest score won Best in Show, instead of making the judges go back and rescore the same thing they already scored.
right. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Click on that. Congratulations to Big Tank Hank.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Big Tank Hank. He does have a YouTube channel as well, so I would encourage you to go check him out. So there's our Best in Show winner. Now, I'm going to ask you, Lefty, because you were far more organized and in depth with this than I am. Do you happen to have a list of the sponsors so we could thank them, or possibly what the winners won, or are we still having to go through and...
I do have that list, and it's already pulled up because I figured you would ask.
I figured you would have it.
So, starting
There's
off...
Big Tank Hank. Sorry, his message got hidden.
Oh,
But, hey, congrats, buddy.
Yes, congratulations. It was a great picture. He actually sent in two. One was a white and blue one, and then the red one. And I asked him which one, and he went with the red one. So I'm kind of glad he did.
Absolutely.
So for sponsors... Oh, Ed, you had a question. Go ahead. Was
this drawn or painted, or how did he make that?
That's a good question. I'll have to answer it in the chat.
That
Oh.
is.
So, for the... I don't know why YouTube hates Catfish Terry all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So, for the sponsors/prizes, our guest judge, Lisa, from KG Tropicals, is going to send some extreme fish food to the winners. Now, let me preface this by saying we can only send food and anything live in the United States. So, on the off chance, like Blake does not live in the United States, what I did last time, we had another winner from Australia. I went and made an account on an Australian site and ordered them some fish food that was comparable to what they would have won and sent that to them. So that is what we'll do for Blake. Other than that, the other winners will get some extreme fish food from Lisa. Rack at River Life is giving art to the winners again. Guppy Guru has a aquarium co-op box full of betta goodies. Diego from Multiple Aquariums is going to do a plant package for our art, picture, and video again. So you get 3 plants each. I'm going to send everyone some Fiber Bites. And then, James, you had mentioned that you and Ed were doing a gift. I just haven't written a surprise gift because I don't know what it is yet.
I wanted to find out where we... So what I like to do, since we sometimes have the foreign winners, is I like to find out where we had the least awards going to someone and kind of compensate in that area. So last time, since I couldn't send out... I was going to send out some guppies for Project Phocalia, but I couldn't for that winner because they were overseas. So I ended up sending them some money on PayPal so that they could, like you said, just go buy some fish there locally since I couldn't ship to them.
And I also sent one of our mugs that has both our symbols to the grand prize guy.
I don't even have one here. That's horrible. I'm a horrible person.
Well, mine's in the other room.
We all failed.
Oh, goodness. We're horrible salesmen. Oh, well. Oh, thank you for hitting the like button, Ro. I appreciate that. And Katie, thank you for the reminders.
These are on the mug.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm going to find out who...
Picture those stickers on this cup. But the cup's more like a mug.
What I'll do is I'll get with you and find out where we have the least prize it's going to. And if they're local or, you know, somewhere that I can ship fish, see if they would like a betta and I can ship them a betta.
Oh.
If they're not or they don't want a betta, then we can figure out something else.
Okay.
Maybe they want some guppies instead. I'm getting ready to start listing some stuff to sell, so they'll have kind of a first pick through some stuff before I even have a chance to list it.
How about an 8x10 autograph?
Hey, I said that to all the members on their thank you. I autographed.
Yeah, I actually got my package the other day.
Awesome. They charged a fortune to ship those things out because they had that towel in there. It went from like, oh, it's a, you know, just a small letter to, hey, this is thicker than a letter, so we're gonna have to charge you $4. I was like, okay, whatever.
Now, is that a new towel?
That is, yes.
I was gonna say, I thought the color looked different than the one I have.
Yeah, Aquatic Marine just donated a whole batch of towels. I was going to purchase some, but they were kind enough to do that. They're really good at supporting and helping me out. They were actually the ones that locally went out of their way to start carrying extreme foods for me because I wanted to try that stuff out. I think a lot of people have enjoyed that being here because the shelf is almost always empty. They're constantly reordering. So
okay.
they're having fun keeping up with supply and demand on that one.
I'm glad someone's fish liked them.
So
Wait,
Fish
when
Pappy had a
said
quick,
the
Fish
color
Pappy,
was-
I will email you after we get done with this because I needed to talk to you on that. But that drags other people into it, so I don't want to go through it in public. I'll put it that way.
when Lefty said was that a used or new towel, I was thinking, what's he think it's a used towel?
I blew my nose in yours, Lefty.
he did an oil change on his car and needed to clean some stuff. You know, I might have something for you soon, James, to give to the members. I've come up with a crazy thing that I'm going to buy a bunch of and give out at Aquashella.
Now, this was the last of the slideshow, right?
Yes.
Okay. Was it going over any further with the over button? So I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that's the last one.
Let's go back through one more time and say another congratulations. Of course, Big Tank Hank, congrats again for the Best in Show winner. Blake's Aquatics, congratulations for the best video. Go back through here. Psychedelic Hippocampus it was. I
what
remember
type of fish were in Blake's tank? Were they wild?
Those, I believe they were just his, he bred some bettas, and I believe that was just his grow out tank for them.
Oh, okay.
Very nice. Candy, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate you hanging out and helping out with all the links and everything. Please feel free to lurk away. Congrats, Psychedelic Hippocampus. I absolutely love that piece. I enjoyed all the art, but I really loved that one.
Yeah, I like that one too. I thought it was very unique and different.
And again, mains, tails, fur, and fins. Oop, hit a button. Congrats on the... It's going to go away.
Now,
congrats on the best picture.
And if you think that's a nice betta, she sells them too. So you can go to her website and buy a pretty looking betta, just like that. You're related.
Don't tell me that, Ed.
Awesome bettas. All right. Let me get this pulled down off of here. Remove. So for the sake of kind of helping with people for the next project that we do, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what we look for as judges. And I know we all have our individual, hey, this is, I like this one better, but more in terms of like with the videos, looking at things like we have a time length that we expect for the entries being, too short or too long or things like that, kind of the stuff that are definite no-nos. That way, hey, don't do this or else it might affect.
That's an awesome thing to bring up. I mean, I used to judge like county fairs, photo competitions for the county fair and other art. And it is. Everybody has something different they look for. So that's a great thing to talk about.
It is.
Because you only have about a minute. So you got to go, what do I like? Does it pop? What goes in my head? Am I thinking about this later?
True.
Like, I can tell you, I'll tell you what I voted best to show. And I didn't vote it best photo. Was that macro shot of the baby betta.
Mm-hmm.
I kept thinking about it the whole time, thinking, boy, it was nice, sharp, and focused, something you don't see very often. And then I ended up saying that's my best to show. I mean, I didn't say it was the best photo, but it stuck in my head. So
I'm trying to see if I could. Yeah, so here we go. I can bring that back real quick on that page. So he is referencing that one right there. Yeah,
it just really stuck in my head. And I'm not going to say all the things I said was best or not, but it stood out to me over everything I saw at the end of the day, what I thought was really cool. And I really thought that fry coming out at us was pretty cool.
Absolutely. So one of the things that we all look at, I guess the main guidelines. So if you fall outside of the parameters, so the video time length, Lefty, was
1 minute at the minimum and 3 at the maximum.
Okay. So we take that into consideration. So if you send a 12-minute video We generally will deduct some points from that automatically. It's not a, I don't know that we've got it as a written rule per se, but we all take that into
personal rule for each judge.
Yeah, I think just about all of us, though, kind of take that into consideration as, well, it's not really qualifying to start with. We're still going to consider it, but we definitely take it into consideration, as a kind of outside of the lines type of thing for judging. Another thing that I think we all take into consideration, this is not, again, a rule or anything, but kind of photo clarity is a big thing. For some people, background is a huge thing. So if we get a picture and the whole thing is blurry, keep in mind we're going to take that into consideration for the picture. And we all have different judging styles. So whereas one of us might not like, I'll say, case in point, since it actually won, one of us might not like the reflection in the beta mirror that was behind that one. Another one might say, oh, it's awesome that you got the details in that mirror. We all have our own little things that we look for.
Well, I know, let's just pick one out. I don't know who did it, but I know the one with the pink background. He's the blue, and I'm using my mouse trying to get you to look at it.
I got it.
Yeah, that one
right there.
That one is gorgeous, but honestly, I didn't like the background.
Same.
I didn't like seeing straight lines in pink. And I don't know who did it. It's an incredible, beautiful beta. But, I wish it had a little bit of splash behind it or something. I don't know. It distracted me from the beta. So I just want to throw that out. And now I hope I didn't make somebody really mad.
Well, and I will counter that with, I picked that one. I'll just throw that out there since it's already been done. And Ed said mean things about it. And I didn't care about the background behind it. I wasn't worried that I absolutely loved that beta to the point that I did not care what else was in the picture.
Yes.
Not that I didn't love the other betas, because I've thrown myself out there to make people mad, but I felt I needed to counterbalance that. I don't like the background, but it's good for people to know these things.
But I wasn't the reason why it didn't win Best of Show, I hope.
Yeah. No.
I don't know what other people said, so sorry.
I thought that I really, really liked it. I really, really liked several to the point that I actually had to look and go,
I can tell you how much that one lost by, because it's a thousandth of a number.
Oh, wow.
0.07
Wow.
is how close that best picture was this time.
Yeah.
So
we really judged the.
What was that? The second place one?
That was first, and then we had the other two judges enter their scores, and it dropped down to second. So
that is a wonderful example of how one tiny detail could shift something dramatically. Maybe if that had just a little bit different background, Ed would have gone, a fraction of a point higher on it.
Yeah, maybe instead of a 7.5, I would have said a 9 point.
Or even a 7.8. Yeah. So and that's another thing is we actually judge in, like I said, 7. We don't do like a 1 to 10 or a 1 to 5. So
like the Olympics.
Yeah, we give I don't know, a 9.6 for this one and a 9.5 for that one, and so with having lots of judges and all those fractional points, there's some fairness to it, so to where we can't just one just blow the other out of the water. Like Lefty said, the margin there was what, 0.007 you said?
0.07. So it was
0.07.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Super close.
Yes.
But then, like with backgrounds, the skull thing was really neat too.
It was cool.
Yeah. So
I didn't give a lot of points for backgrounds, but I gave negative points for no backgrounds.
I know for me, when it comes to pictures, I like when the fish is the center and super focused, and then the stuff in background is out of focus, and you can really look at the fish in detail.
Absolutely.
Is that photo? Oh, is that the one that's in between James and I, is that the one that's got a real dark betta and he's like hiding?
Yes,
in
the
shade?
betta's actually right there hiding under that leaf. And
That was kind of neat too.
Yeah, I thought that was phenomenal. But if you send in just a big fuzzy picture, just keep that in mind. Petzotic / multiple aquariums. Hey Diego, how are you? Says having judging guidelines helps judges keep their personal opinions to themselves to a certain point. It makes it more fair to the contestant. Yes, absolutely. We try to make it fair, and then we usually kind of have a group judging, if you will, or at least Ed and I do, and Lefty joins us because he's the smart man that updates the
he shows us
the OCD spreadsheet.
Yeah. Oh, and that's another thing. Ed and I don't know what anybody else has voted till after we vote.
Well, and we don't know who's
this time. Yeah, that was another reason I wanted people to submit via email this time, so that only one person would know who submitted the things. That way, you're best friends with so and so, you might have a little bias or whatever. So that's kind of why I wanted to have it where only one person saw it, and people didn't use their usernames. It was just their email, so I didn't even know who half the people were.
All right. And another thing would be almost to help from keeping conflict. If I know whose it is, I judge it more harshly.
True.
So if you send something and so like I would have known the betta was Priscilla's anyways, probably, that was drawn in the art, but where it had Priscilla's name in there, I had to make sure that I didn't show it favoritism because Priscilla's awesome and I like her, and I buy fish and shrimp and stuff and art and all that. So
yeah, she got downgraded somewhat because of that, which is I felt bad for her. But the Pasilia one, the best to show, we all know who the best to show was because we'd seen that photo before.
Well, see,
and that's why I didn't give him as high of a score in the photos because I really wanted, to not know. But then I was like, if there was one fish in this show that I would put on my wall, what would it be? And it was that guppy. I absolutely love that photo of that guppy. So that was why I gave it the best to show. And I felt bad that I knew that it was Jesse from HC Aquatics.
Right.
But it was awesome.
And see, I didn't know that it was Jesse's, but I looked at it and I looked at the fish and I was like, that's got to be Jesse's. And then I had to tell myself, okay. And I kept wanting to, like Ed said, almost downgrade it. And then I was like, no, I have to vote it. I would vote that picture regardless. It made it really hard for me to make sure that I was judging without bias. Because I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's Jesse's. But that wasn't because Jesse did anything. I hadn't seen it beforehand. I guess Ed had. It was just, I know HC Aqua's guppies, and I know that strain, and I'm like, that's definitely one of Jesse's fish.
Well, you have that strain.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I bought that fish.
That's he has that on Get Gills, and I think I stare at the different guppies on Get Gills all the time. And so I stare at that fish, and I've got his other strand, and that's why I haven't bought it, and you have it. So it was like, oh, I love that.
Somebody had asked if there were going to be more contests. Yes, there absolutely are. We're doing them quarterly, I guess.
Yeah, I would say maybe November will be the next one.
Yeah.
And if anybody, I know I've gotten at least 2 categories that I'm pushing for. And I don't know, are we allowed to say these things?
You can. Real quick, I want to say, Priscilla, I didn't judge against yours because I knew it was yours. It's very hard to separate, though, and go, am I just voting for this because I know this person, or do I really, really like that? Yes, Sir Pronalot, I like Neo Caridina in November.
Oh, Sir Pronalot was a winner from last time. He won the videos.
Yes, he did.
Did he have an entry in this one?
Yes, he did. The blue betta 3 in from the top right, I believe, is his Doc Derpy. I believe that's yours, right, Pronny?
Cool. Oh, that's a good looking fish. I was afraid you were going to say it's the one with the pink background. And I was like, oh, no. Somebody's going to hate me now. I'm sorry, but it's a beautiful fish.
Well, that's okay. 19 people or however many are going to hate me because I told them which one I picked.
We both kind of said the same thing about that one, though, Ed.
Oh.
That we wish the background was different.
But,
Yeah.
I wanted to discuss a little bit. So you're going to give away some stuff. I feel it's only fair that people kind of know, things that they at least, definitely want to avoid. Blurry pictures or shaky videos would be another one.
And I would definitely say for the video, try and make it the minute, because when it's just like a 6-second clip, it's very hard for us to view the fish and judge it fairly.
Yes.
Especially when you gotta wait like the half second for it to load, and then it's like, oh, it's over, and we're like, we gotta watch it like 3 or 4 times. And Ed doesn't have his glasses on, and then it's like, Ed, they're on your head.
Yeah. It's true. Well, and then I thought my earphones were broken because I couldn't hear anything, but I could hear them talking. Oh, well.
It was interesting. Real quick, let me say thank you again to the mods. Thank you to the 116 people that are now watching, 91 thumbs ups. Y'all are awesome.
Wow.
And I just saw something here. Thank you very much. Right at the cusp of 1,700 subscribers. I've jumped up to 1,698, so about 23 subscribers since it started. I really do appreciate that. And I hope you check out these people as well, because we've got some awesome channels here. So thank you all very much for that. If you do have fishy questions, I know we missed some stuff earlier in the stream, but please feel free to throw those in now that we've kind of gotten the main course out of the way. We'd love to answer anything that you all have for us. If you put @FisherandFever, it will highlight for me. But we do also have Lefty3213A with an eye on the chat, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. So either one of us will catch those. Don't put it to Ed. He doesn't pay attention.
I don't.
He keeps his glasses up here the whole time. So
Bob got my attention when he was talking about donuts.
Ooh, I missed that. I might need to go back and find that.
I've been craving donuts for a while now. It's terrible.
So I do want to say this, because Priscilla had made that joke about we'll see what happens if she ever has to judge anything we enter. Priscilla has got some absolutely beautiful art, and she actually also has some amazing, I almost said custom bettas. What's the word I'm looking for here? One of you.
Awesome.
Premium bettas.
Okay.
At SwissAquatics.com.
High end.
Yes. High end. Upscale. Trying to make sure I did not miss any other super chats. Looking through here, I don't see anything highlighted, but I always have a blast. So while we're waiting for stuff, I say waiting for stuff to pop up, but we're going to talk about it already anyways. You kind of wanted to talk about a couple of things you'd like to see, and we can discuss some things that you all in the chat would like to see. I know we saw the Neocaridina and Corey Katz Project Malawi, Project 10. My teeth aren't going to let me say it tonight. Tanganyika. I'm going to pull up Ed and just sit on the word until I get it right. But Lefty, what would you like to see coming up? Or Ed?
Well, Dragon Lair kind of touched on it.
Oh, what Dragon Lair say?
He mentioned that we need an African cichlid category or event. I was thinking just like a general cichlid event, so we get lots of different kinds of fish coming in.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing, is we're doing it quarterly, which only gives us 4 fish groups.
Yeah.
Now, what we could do is we could talk about, Pasilia. Maybe we could just say live bear month, or, we'd talk about other live bears other than the guppies next.
Right.
We could do something like that. So that way we give another category. Maybe, but the one thing is we want to make sure it's common enough that a lot of people have it. So, but maybe we do Africans this year and we do South Americans next year. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out. We could do something like that. Something I'd love to see is shrimp, but maybe we do invertebrates, and then we do shrimps this year and we do snails next year. I don't know. Or maybe we do cleanup crews. I don't know. Just because there's all these awesome catfish we could do.
Yeah.
I think goldfish would be wonderful, especially for winter since they're a cold water fish. But there's so many great things that we could do.
Well, and honestly, who knows? I mean, I'm going to get yelled at for this off screen, I'm sure, but we could always incorporate more than quarterly. If we got, because things have progressively gotten smoother. There was a lot we learned doing that first.
No, I don't want to grab that. You'll probably get demonetized.
Project Posilia, that we worked into the second contest, and it's continuous learning process. Real quick, let me say thank you, Bob Kaler, Kaler's Aquatics. I managed to pull it up, and I'll have to grab you a party popper, Bob. Oh yeah, party popper, Bob. But thank you for the $3 super sticker. The hippo saying next time. Bob Kaler, another awesome channel friend and member. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, I might have some party poppers in the other room.
I've got a whole bunch of them somewhere. Oh, they're like 3 feet away.
I've had them for a year. Cats like sleeping on their bag.
Oh.
I don't know why, and they may not be any good. They've been so mushed from the cat.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking along the same lines, James. That we've got the groundwork laid now with the 2 events we've done. So if we made it an annual thing, we really don't have to do much planning, because it'll just be the events happening at the same time again. The group's already made. So if we wanted to, we could add more in for next year before or in between the other ones.
We grew and got bigger, but we want to make sure that we don't abuse our sponsors.
True. Yeah,
absolutely. Donators. Well, that's my own thing. Because like Pixotics, Diego is awesome. And he's got a super cool website that you can buy all sorts of awesome stuff from. I just bought a Python from him, and it's great. So you can do that, and he also sells food and all sorts of stuff. But I don't want to force him to end up losing money.
Well, right. No, and I agree. And nobody has committed to, do all of the projects. And we certainly, just like I don't expect the moderators to do work, or I don't expect the super chats. There's no expectation if you have contributed to a contest that you're required to do that going forward. So please don't ever feel like we're putting anyone on the spot. We've had some awesome people that have volunteered to do some awesome stuff. And that's part of why we don't promise any type of gifts to the winners, I guess. Initially, it just started as, hey, if you want to do something cool, we're going to announce winners. And then it came in that a lot of people said, hey, we want to donate stuff for that. But initially, it just started as, hey, if you just want to be the winner, or a winner, and have fun talking to the community, feel free to join this. Let me grab this other super chat real quick, and then I've got a question in here. It wasn't highlighted, but I did find it. I lost the super chat, so I'll come back to that on the other screen. But Nate says, I want to start keeping inlers, but I have a guppy tank. From what I've read, they will crossbreed. Do any of you crossbreed these fish? Do they look cool? And if so, have you had any problems? Ed?
Guppies and inlers?
Yes.
Yes, they definitely inbreed. I don't mean to sound that bad or anything. The females almost look identical. It seems like, inlers have their females look just like guppy females. So I wouldn't even want to mix them up, because I'd have a hard time trying to identify some of these inler guppies or inler females, because they're so much bigger. I don't know. Have fun. Do what you want to do. But maybe you'll make something neat. Maybe you won't.
I personally have mixed them. I find that you can get some really interesting things, especially if you're doing it with a lot of different strains, like in a bigger mutt tank, or not even necessarily a huge tank, but a bigger colony of mutts from different genetic pools. You can get some really awesome fish that you don't normally find. So it does have its upsides. Downside being good luck uncrossing any genetics. You want a project, cross them up, and then try and line breed out some stuff from there and get it gone. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, if you've got a bunch of purebred bulldogs and a bunch of purebred Great Danes and you want to mix them, make sure you keep some of them separate, or you're just going to have a bunch of weird looking dogs. But maybe you get a giant, maybe that's how you got an American bulldog. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't like the mix. I like to, if they're ugly, then they can be mixed and they can go into a mutt guppy tank. Or if you want to experiment, then do it. But I wouldn't just throw everybody in the same and hope.
There you go. So we had hashtag Diatom December. I like that Serpron a lot. Several people for shrimps and votes for snails. Shia Mrs. Fever said Lefty is fired. Must be by region, not all cichlids. Thank you, Mrs. Fever, for the $2 super chat. I'm not going to run out there and shoot that at her. I owe Bob one of these. Thank you, Bob Kaler. And then we got Fantastic Freaks. Fantastic Freaks, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. I can't see past that. It says a cichlid contest would be fun and angelfish. And then again, Bob Kaler, Kaler's Aquatics. Hey, that one did really well. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. I really, really do. Never expect it, but it always is very much appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, you could also do like tetras. You know, you could break it all down into different barbs. You could do all sorts of little things. That'd be kind of neat.
So we've got people say discus contest, hashtag all cichlids.
See, the discus and the angels would be in the South Americans.
Big Tank Hank says fisherman fever Endler females often have a gold hue. So there's something to take into consideration. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy the mixes. Now, am I going to take pure lines, like Ed said, and intentionally dilute them? Personally, probably not. But I mean, if you've got some stuff in it, you don't know that it's a pure strain. It's kind of, oh, I got these generics from, you know, big box store X and these other ones. And, hey, why not? It's fun to play with stuff. And the only downside is if you're trying to keep a pure strain of genetics, I guess would be the big thing. I can't think of another downside to it, really.
Well, like my Japanese blue tails, they have the blue body. That's the Japanese blue. That was probably came from the Endlers that are blue with the blue body. So, I mean, definitely people are mixing them to make these neat looking guppies that we have today.
So I've even contemplated, I have white cross Endlers and I have snow cross Endlers, and I'm thinking about throwing them in the same tank because they look almost identical. And just letting them breed out versus having a couple in one and a whole bunch in another. Because that may even just be a name variation.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's so many different names. I wonder, can you tell any difference?
Not really. But I don't have a large. So I've got a couple of the. Oh, I'm going to mix this up. The ones from Tom Patterson. Which ones were those? Ed, you got some. Were they the white?
Cross.
Those are the white cross. Okay, and then I got snow crosses from Fish Tank Barn back at Big Fish Deal, and it had more generations of those. But I've got a bunch of those and only a couple of the others. So I'm like, I'm probably gonna let the white cross breed out more so that I can look and see if there are any real differences I see. But you know, just things like that to keep in mind. Are you really keeping two of the same fish in different tanks because of a name difference, or are they actually legitimately different fish? Real quick, Dedicated Aquatics with the $5 super chat says any cichlids will work. LOL, bring it. Kenny E, thank you, buddy. I appreciate the $5 super chat, and it's good to see you, my friend. I miss you. It was fun hanging out with you and going down to see Father Fish. That was a blast. I'm glad you made it home safe, and I'm glad you had an awesome adventure. Thank you for that $5 super chat, brother.
I was telling Kenny yesterday, I wish I could win the lottery so I could move him out here because it was so much fun. You could have like a summer home here in Tennessee somewhere.
That would be cool. Bob Kaler says we've got a good buddy, Big J's Fish Keeper, close to 1,000. You know what to do. Big J's got an awesome channel. He's been grinding on that thing. So if you want to see a guy with some really cool catfish in his pond and a whole bunch of other cool stuff, go check him out. Ginger said she thought she was subscribed to Big J. WT blank.
Sometimes you got to check because they've been unsubbing us too.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy here got unsubbed from me, so it happens.
I went to go to Ed's channel to grab a link for his channel and wasn't subscribed to him anymore. I was like, Ed, do you think I should subscribe to this guy? And I sent him a picture, and it was his channel. Very weird.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it happens. And Big J is such a smart guy, and he does his live streams on Monday, is it? You can ask him anything, fish related or food. He also knows a lot of food stuff. He's just a great guy. Check him out.
Oh, Candy was quick on that. Thank you, Candy.
Oh, 82 more. Wow, that's awesome. I thought he was over 1,000 already.
So Emily Furby has a great question here. I'm trying to grab questions, even if they aren't highlighted. If I miss one that's not highlighted, I apologize. But Emily Furby says, hello from Australia. Good day. I'm new to your channel. Glad to have you here. I appreciate it, Emily. I am setting up my first tank, and it just won't cycle. Help. Haha, what can I do? It has been over a month, and I really want to get my betta fish. Over a month, still won't cycle. Would either of you two gentlemen like to lead with suggestions or theories?
Is she cleaning it too much?
Have you added anything that'll break down, like fish food?
Yep. That's the big thing. Do you have anything in there to kick the cycle?
That's the one thing they always forget to tell you at the fish store. They just say set it up, let it run, and then you're just basically moving water. You don't add to it.
That's exactly it. That is exactly it. And I think even, Blake brought it up as well. You could put a small bit of food in to help make ammonia for the bacteria to feed on. That is exactly it. Feeding the ghost fish. There are a lot of different ways to cycle a tank. You could get, filter media from a friend if maybe you've got a friend in the hobby. And by the way, welcome to the hobby, because I think you said that was your first tank, right?
Yes.
Yeah, setting up my first tank. So welcome to the hobby. Glad that you're with us, and glad to have you here as well. If you've got a friend in the hobby, you could try getting some cycled substrate would work too. But a sponge filter or just
some live plants.
Yeah, live plants.
Great.
Big J says, hey, not everyone at the LFS says that. That's true, Big J, but generally speaking, most of them aren't intelligent fish keepers such as yourself, sir, or Priscilla.
So they haven't cleaned it. They have plants. They said the plants are breaking down a bit, and they're adding fish food and Chem stability.
Oh.
I used Chem stability when I added more fish, and I wanted to help with the bio load. I don't think it helped. I tried using it to cycle tanks. It didn't work all that well. I know you're in Australia, so I don't think they have API and Fritz down there, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's this Fritz Instant or Turbo Start.
Yeah, they can't get all the same chemicals down there, though. That's the problem.
If you go to the pet store, you could also maybe, if they have like a decoration in one of the tanks, like a piece of rock or a piece of driftwood, you can also ask to buy that one because it's already covered in bacteria that's good.
Now,
and stick it in there.
That brings up a discussion that I saw on a Facebook page. Someone was starting to cycle their first tank. They had watched videos that said you already used medium from filters. They went to their local PetSmart. PetSmart was nice enough to give them a full fish bag of water and sponge from a tank, and people were upset with the person for taking it, saying you're going to get your fish all sick. And I'm like, it all depends on the store.
Yes. Yeah. It definitely depends on the source. It's kind of like people are going to cringe when they hear this. Depending upon the source, I don't always quarantine my fish.
I'm the same way.
Did I quarantine all the fish that came from LRB that I personally got from his tanks and drove back to the house? No, I did not. I'm not saying, I'm not advising anybody not to quarantine, but again, going back to the source, did I trust those fish? Had I personally seen those tanks? Do we know LRB Aquatics? Lucas knows what he's doing. Yes. So, with that being said, if I get some generic guppies from big box store A, they're going in quarantine for like 4 months before they get anywhere near another tank. And I'm not saying that to be mean to the big box stores. It really comes down to where they're all getting the fish from, because even, the place that I trust the most, I still wouldn't put their guppies that just came in from the wholesaler in any of my tanks without quarantine, because I know it's not their fault that maybe the wholesaler's not keeping up and taking care of things.
Exactly. I totally agree with you 100%.
Yep.
But I was suggesting to get more something from a local fish store than a box store.
Right.
Because box store, they're just pumping stuff through. And I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, like at PetSmart, they keep most of them try to keep their tanks so clean. There's no like algae in there or anything. And the auto cats are starving to death. I hate to say it, but I wouldn't buy any auto cats from PetSmart. Make sure you get a nice fat one.
Okay, so Emily did say, thanks heaps. I will definitely try to get a rock-sized bit of driftwood and see if that helps. I didn't quite hear the products you guys suggested because my internet dropped out, but I will rewatch the stream. I think there was only one that we knew for sure was available in Oz, right? Of course, you got Blake's Aquatics and Prawny. I'm sure they would have some chemical suggestions. But which one did you say was available there, Lefty?
I said I don't know if API or fits are available there.
Gotcha.
So those are the two I've used in the past. But again, I don't trust them to cycle tanks for me. I used to use them when I add like a dozen new fish to a community tank. That's when I put it in to help offset that new bio load. I still go old school with cycling tanks, just fish food in the tank, let it sit.
So Jordan Soul, hello, says, hi, I'm just getting started in fish keeping as well. Welcome to the hobby, welcome to the channel, and welcome to the wonderful fish fam of YouTube. Appreciate you being here and glad to have you. And decided to do mutt guppies. In my first round of fry, I'm noticing spinal deformities in a few. How do I humanely manage this and prevent this? Who would like to touch the culling subject first?
Well, Ed's got 50 bajillion guppy tanks, so I'm going to vote Ed.
Yeah, and that is a major problem with guppy fry is the bent, curved spines. I mean, there's different ways you can do it. You can feed it to another fish. I know that sounds terrible, but like I've got baby bichers, and I throw them in there and see if they live or if they don't. If the bichers are hungry, they might eat them. I don't want to give it to, like, say, the dragon puffer because I don't want her to get dependent on eating live food. So the bichir pretty much eats whatever's in front of it. And so that's why I don't feel guilty about throwing them in there. But I mean, I don't want to just kill them. Some people might just flush them or something. I don't want to do that. Yeah. So I'm going to feed them to, I hate to say it, but I'm going to feed them to my baby bichir. Or I do. I shouldn't have just said that. Oh, well, I got a sub today. I got the 561. I probably just lost 2.
Congrats. Oh, goodness. Yeah, so if it's in little bitty babies like that, I guess the first thing I would do is look at the parents to make sure that you're not going to have the continual problem of a bent spine. So if you can tell from the parents, find that deformity in one of them, get that one out of the mix first so that it's not just going to be a continued issue of I'm going to keep breeding these bent spines in here. That way you're not having to do any more damage control than necessary. You can do things like Ginger Graves says, I have a cull tank. I let them live out their lives there. I've done that before. It kind of depends. If it's something to the point to where the fish can't live a healthy life, or you think it's going to be struggling its whole life because it's so deformed it's not going to be able to swim right, or it's going to cause issues, then I've definitely tossed a few in the piranha tank that I thought this fish is just not living its best life, as Haley would say. If it's something that I think can still live out a happy life, but I don't want the genetics in the mix, you can throw it in a cull tank. Keep in mind, though, if you've got a lot of them and you've got males and females, they're just going to be breeding out in that cull tank. So you might want to have one for males, one for females if you're going to do that, so you don't get any reproduction. I don't look down upon anybody for culling a fish out. I would just say, keep in mind the extremity of how bad the deformity is. Now, if you're flushing guppies because they don't have the right color of purple in them, then shame on you. But if you're taking fish that have health problems and you're having to deal with it one way or another, I can completely understand that. Ginger says, I fed my culls to my Oscar ones. I couldn't stand it. Oscars are messy eaters. I was picking out guppy parts. Didn't do that again. Yeah, so I've got 25 Caribe piranha. I'm not saying to go get 25 piranhas to take care of your culls, but I will also say that they have guppies that live in with them until they get to adult that they don't even go after. Long story short, in trying to get rid of duckweed from another tank, knowing I had tons of fry in that duckweed, I would put it in the piranha tank. The guppies would grow out big enough for me to catch them back out because they were little bitty fry. The piranhas didn't bother them, but I have thrown some full-size guppies in there.
And, also, just throwing this out, I don't throw them in my mutt guppies because I want my mutt guppies to keep nice straight line. I actually pulled one out of my mutt guppy tank. But, if they're in some of these tanks, a lot of my Moscows will eat the babies that are slow. So I don't even ever see them, in some of them because the parents will eat them. I just let nature do its business. But I've got a tank down here with swordtail guppies, and they don't ever eat any of their babies. And I've got one baby that's up in, let's see, this tank right here. No, it is this tank. This tank right here, and it's like a boomerang. And right now I haven't been able to fish him out yet. But he's going to be the next one that visits the Beischer tank. Sorry. I either use a coal tank or I put them in the community tank or any tank I have space in for them. I try to keep the males and females separated if I can, though.
So, sorry, I saw somebody mention the piranhas. Ginger Graves said, your piranha ate you. Yeah, they did get a bite out of the finger, but that's healing up really well. See if that'll focus there. It's almost completely healed up. It's still got a nice scab that would, of course, bleed if I ripped it off there. But I like what Ed pointed out. There's a big difference between deformities and health issues and just color variations. My mutt guppy tanks, they get culls thrown into them, but they're culls that maybe this doesn't have the right color pattern for this particular strain. Maybe this guy's tail is a little off and it shouldn't be like that for this particular line of fish. But they don't get any deformities put in the mutt guppy tank. It's just things like you might get a half black AOC leopard that didn't have a pretty enough leopard pattern in there. And you might get a platinum albino in there that maybe wasn't quite as pretty as I thought it should be for platinum albino. But you never get bent spines or things like that.
And, with my platinums, I've got a couple that are coming out pink. And so I'm fishing them out and putting them in a separate tank, and I'm hoping they'll start breeding true and I'll end up making pink platinums someday. I think that'd be
yeah. That's what I've got some
fun.
On the mutt thing, my mutt guppy tank, it ended up producing 6 of a fluorescent purple. They're all males. All of them that came out this way are all males. They're all fluorescent purple with like a orangish red tiger tail on them. And they came from a cull tank. There's nothing in there that looks anything like them. They all came from the same batch. I have no clue what the parents were. But so I pulled all 6 of those and I put them with my platinum albino females. So we're going to see what happens there. You can have some real fun with variances from a mutt tank.
Yeah. Well, and also when I go to a fish store, they never have the females, it seems like, but they have the beautiful males. And with the mutt tank, I can buy a couple of them boys and throw them in the mutt tank and see what happens. And it makes mutt tanks so much more fun. I mean, I love it. I just do.
It really does. I like having fresh stuff to add into there. I've got 2, so eventually what I'll do is those 2 mutt guppy tanks fill up to freshen genetics is I'll take a bunch from one and a bunch from the other and swap them out so that you get even more genetic variation. Kaylor's Aquatic says they won't add it's recessive. Hey, howdy, Garden. How are you?
That's why I went, I'm going to still try.
It's worth a shot. It's just fun. I mean, you got to have fun. Not that other stuff isn't fun, but finding new ways to continue to have fun in the hobby is something to help keep people in the hobby longer, I've found.
Yes.
It's easy to get bored with the same thing. And then, there are people that could have one tank their entire hobby existence and not get bored with it and just enjoy sitting in front of that one tank, enjoying it all the time. But it can definitely be easy to get bored if you're just doing the same old for, years and years and years and years, to the point of, hey, I'm going to go play with this. I'm going to try this experiment.
I'm going to show you what I am building right now. I was going to get my camera, but unfortunately my camera is stuck to the bottom of the chair.
You know what we did, Ed? We rolled right into your time, into your 1 hour.
You know what? Do you have the stream set up for me to go to there?
I do.
Okay, here. What we'll do is I'll bring back the wall that I'm creating. If that's your sneak peek, come back in 2 minutes.
Well, I am going to say some quick thank yous again. Of course, thank you both for being here. Moderators, thank you for all the wonderful hard work that you have done. I appreciate everything. I'm going to get the super chats pulled up real quick. But while I'm doing that, congratulations again to all our winners. And thank you to everybody that entered. We do really appreciate that. It was a blast judging that stuff. Want to welcome our newest member, One Dirty Platty, who joined today. Thank you very much for that. Always a pleasure to see you. And pull up super chats here. Of course, don't forget to check out. They're both below me now. I'm so used to having them next to me. Chattanooga Ed and Lefty 3213A. Thank you to Danican Aquatics, Cheyenne Miss Fever, Fantastic Freaks, Kaler's Aquatics, Bob Steenfot was in there somewhere. This thing just froze on me. Let's see. Fantastic Freaks, Kaler's Aquatics, Graham's maintained by Andy. There's Steenfot. Mrs. Fever again, Kaler's Aquatics again, and Grumpy Mike's Fish. I appreciate each and every one of you. A huge thank you to all the members. I've got a piece coming out just for you all tomorrow. And then everybody else, I've got a piece coming out probably the day after that. I have to redo a voiceover. But I think you're going to like it. And I may or may not be eating some of this stuff right here in that video. So keep an eye out for that. But thank you very much. Chattanooga Ed's link is up. We're going to go straight over to there. So I appreciate you. And that gives Lefty a chance to go to bed because I know you need to.
I'm off to bed. I got to get up at 6 a.m.
While this guy's here, tomorrow he's got a live show at 4 Central. And you guys can ask if you don't live in the Central time zone.
Eastern.
Oh, I said Central. I grew up my whole life in Central. The Central border is literally 10 minutes from me. But nevertheless, check it out. I'll be there with him, and he always has something goofy and fun to talk about. It is a great time. And it's not necessarily fish, but it can be if that's all you want to hear.
There you go. They do have a blast. So thank you all again. We're going to jump over to Ed's, and we're going to get a little kooky with things. Appreciate you all watching. Until about 2 minutes from now or the next time I see you, keep your fish healthy. Keep yourselves healthy. Catch yourself a little fish room fever. Take care, everybody.